first Summer Youth Olympic Games in 2010 are awarded to the city of Singapore.
Dear athletes, this evening marks your entry into the Olympic world. Over the next 12 days, you will compete with the world's best athletes of your generation. You will test the limits of your abilities and push past them. Many of you will compete at future Olympic Games. All of you will benefit from these youth games. Your experiences here will help you prepare for life beyond the field of play, and you will gain a deeper appreciation of Olympic values.
I declare open the first Youth Olympic Games of Singapore.
It's new, nobody knew what it's going to be like. We want to set a model which is flexible, which can be adapted for all subsequent games, because all countries are different. So there was a lot of creativity and innovation that has been put into this. Some of these learning experiences get passed on to the Olympic Games as well.
I remember being the torch bearer. I wasn't the official torch bearer, I was just like a student who tagged along with a teacher. There were people who stayed in HDB blocks or whoever lived nearby who wanted to see the torch, and that was a really, really nice thing.
When Singapore team play especially, when our youth scores a goal, wow, you can see the whole stadium, the Kallang wave come zoom, zoom, the kind. Yeah.
Because I was the only participant for boxing, and to be honest, I was really very scared. It's my first major games at that point of time, happening at my old home ground as well. So it was a bit of pressure for me. But overall, it was a great experience because I get to see all my family, friends supporting me, and it was like a unique experience for me.
There was a moment where I passed the torch to Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, and you can see the smile on his face, and he said, "Well done." That was one of the most memorable moments.
We were quite inspired by the vision of creating something that was bigger than ourselves, bigger than Singapore. A little bit daunting, I would say that's a bit of the feeling, but also terribly exciting. The Olympics is probably the only event that could bring the whole world together. There's this goosebumps moment when Darren Choi came in with the torch. They came from that side, the last leg of the torch relay. And so when Darren ran slowly, every time his foot hit the water, it had this ripple, this ring. It became an iconic photo of the games.
You could feel the energy, and those are the magical moments. When you are very proud of the Olympic movement, you are very proud of Singapore, you are very proud of what we have achieved coming together.
This was my maiden journey, managing a group of youngsters. So it taught me some skills on how to manage young people, telling them and teaching them about being a team player. We are not alone. Actually, we are all a collective whole. Volunteers, you cannot force them on. So basically to lead them, not to command and dominate over them. That actually inspired me to carry on volunteering even up to today. And it was from then until now, there are more and more events to engage the volunteers. Organizations are actually calling us to say, hey, we need help. Can you send your volunteers to help? Example, during the COVID-19 mask distribution, the hand sanitizer, we were all involved in that.
After YOG, people were aware there's boxing in Singapore. There were more things within the association as well. And also it aided me in my other competitions as well, like the SEA Games in Singapore. In a way, it's a confidence and moral booster. It made me understand what I really wanted out of boxing, how much I have to sacrifice and put in the work to get what I want.
2 years later, I started shooting officially, so I competed and I trained. In 2014, they had the next Youth Olympic Games. I was very determined. I wanted to compete in this event, knowing that Singapore was the first host country for this, so I wanted to be part of it as well. of all the participants, I was the youngest one, and it just goes to show that your age really doesn't matter. No matter how old you are able to do something if you put your heart and your mind into your goal.
Every participant mattered, and we wanted a way to remember them, to honor them for participating. Our hopes for this wall, let's say he's now 25. He may not come back to Singapore for those who are from very far away, but some may. And the image we had in our mind is that one day when one of them is telling a story to his or her grandson or granddaughter and said, "Granddad, Grandma was in Singapore," and then they think that maybe we would like to visit, and they come and it's still here waiting for them. The kind of legacy I think we are most proud of are experience that people carried with them. It's not about the buildings. I mean, there were some improvements, like Equestrian got some new facilities. Some of the athletes went on to make further progress in their career. Some of the staff went on to volunteer or to join the staff of other organizing committees. They were valued for their experience. We adopted the Olympic values as our own organizational values, as excellence, friendship, and respect. If we really believe it and practice, it's really quite positive motivation.
We don't have to do big roles, but small roles, but do it with a big heart, with a sincere heart. And I think that's where the satisfaction comes in. When you see that, wow, at the end of the whole game, it was successful. Singapore feel proud about hosting it, and you know that, hey, I'm part of it. It is one chapter in your life that you would love to treasure, and you can pass this experience on to the next generation.
There's something much stronger, which President Rock called the Singapore spirit. It is reflected in the way that we bid, the way we organize, the way we execute. I think it's something that is intangible, that's invisible, that sort of continues.